Let's learn how to do this eyeshadow look. We're gonna use one palette, and it's the Huda Beauty Icy Nude palette. Start with this shade High Life, a fluffy brush. Work that in right above my crease, right above my pupil, doing small circles towards my nose. Once I get the majority of the product off, I'll bring that forward and out a little bit until we get a nice, even, smooth blend. And with that same brush, I'm gonna go into this shade Unapologetic, which is kind of a rusty red. I'm going to deepen up that crease. I'm gonna stay a little bit lower and a little bit more true to my crease and just work that in. See, I'm kind of working this, paying more attention to the outer area of the crease, kind of give us that lift and cat eye. How much greener this eye looks than this one. I'm gonna take that same Unapologetic shade on a little bit more of a raspy, flatter blending brush to buff it into my lower lash line, focusing on the outer 2/3. Still bringing that in a little bit, and I'm making sure that I connect it to that work we did in the crease and really buff that out so that those connect and lift. Take a soft synthetic brush, and I'm gonna dip into this white shade called Avalanche, and I'm going to just buff it right into this inner pocket and inner corner, blending it forward a little bit and up until I build that brightness that I want in the inner corner. That same white shade, and I'm gonna use it to go right underneath the brow to give me a little bit of a underbrow highlight. This is also gonna work to clean up some of that work that we did. Take just a few messy dots of a kohl eyeliner, place just a little bit right in between my lashes on this outer, like 1/4 of the eye. After we get those little dots down, I'm gonna take a small, flat, rounded, smudgy brush, the darkest shade of the palette called She's Rich, which is a really pretty purple. I'm gonna use that to kind of smudge, set, and shape that kohl liner that we set down all in one step. I kind of pull my eye, smudge and look, pull my eye, smudge and look, little flick, work with it until I have the shape that I want. This is an important step. I'm gonna go a little bit more into that little rusty red brown with that brush we used on the lower. I'm gonna use that just to kind of smudge right on top of that wing. We don't know where it starts, we don't know where it ends, and then it blends up in with this work that we did in the crease and the lower lash line. I'm gonna take a little bit of that darkest shade too, and we're gonna put it right in to this inner corner underneath where the lashes are going in. And I use shadow to do this, so it's never a harsh line and so that it never gets smudgy or ooey or gooey throughout the day. I'm gonna add some mascara, but make sure you stick around just for a second because my favorite part is coming up. I'm using Monster Big. This is my favorite mascara literally of all time. Yeah, this eye still doesn't look like this eye, and this eye has a little bit more lift. Well, here is what we're gonna do. It's the Ardell press-ons. They're pre-glued. They are in little clusters like this. I'm gonna use the long ones, the 14mm ones, and I'm just gonna use 2 chunks and we're gonna pop them in. There's already glue on the top part of this little cluster. Look down into your mirror and you're actually gonna go underneath your lashes and pull up, and they just kind of stick, hang on to your real lashes. And then we're gonna do another one just right next to it, so we have 2 kind of on this outer corner. And you see how much lift that gives us on the outer corner? I feel like I give myself a facelift with eyelashes. I'm freaking out. That is the finished look. What's crazy is that it really is just a few steps with a few different colors to get this kind of look. I love this freaking eyeshadow palette, but if there's anyone that you've had your eye on that you want me to try next, let me know.